The Drive-Thru is our monthly news episode and is sponsored in part by organizations like HPDEJunkie.com, CollectorCarGuide.net, Project Motoring, Garage Style Magazine, the Exotic Car Marketplace, and many others. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor of the Drive-Thru, look no further than www.motoringpodcast.net. Click About and then Advertising. Thank you again to everyone that supports the Motoring Podcast Network, Grand Touring Motorsports, our podcast Break Fix, and all the other services we provide.
I guess we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Tesla.
Oh, didn't we talk about him enough already?
Mm.
What is that, the Law and Order music? Boom, boom.
Yep.
Bum, 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 bum.
What kind of shenanigans is Elon up to this time? Have you noticed that we have begun to really split hairs on Tesla? I remember when it was just, we would be remiss. And then it became Tesla Gate. And then it became stupid shit that Elon does. And now the Cybertruck has its own segment by itself because it is a spectacle.
Yes.
I love how it's all inclusive. It's the car, it's the man, it's the company, just all rolled up into one.
There you go. There's their new slogan. The car, the man, the company, Musk. They should just drop Tesla.
God.
They should just be Musk. Are you driving your... Oh, God, I can't even say it. Are you driving your Musk? Yes, I've got my Musk. Riding in my Musk.
What was the name of that perfume in Anchorman where he like it had
Musk.
like, in the Jaguar bottle and he would open it up and it would like smell like hell? Like that's exactly what I'm thinking here.
Oh, Sex Panther? Was that what it was?
Musk. But before we dig in to the showcase, I have breaking news. I received an email from Tesla.
They hacked your account and have all your personal info.
They would like you to reset your password.
Yes, there was a security breach, and no, I'm kidding.
We found out a little secret when we were doing a crossover episode with one of our guests.
Did Elon Musk snort my $100 up his nose? Is that what happened?
Well, he must have spent it on something because you didn't get your day one t-shirt that you were supposed to get as a reservation holder.
Do you get it as a reservation holder or after you place your order?
No, you were supposed to get it when you placed your reservation.
Oh, I didn't get anything.
That's what we were told. Remember, you were all upset about that.
It wouldn't fit me now anyway. I don't know what happened to my t-shirt.
You know what's funny is that t-shirt might be worth more than that Cybertruck allotment at this point.
If everybody got one and there's like millions of people put in orders for Cybertrucks.
Man, those were some expensive t-shirts, $100.
Where is your order? Have you received Dogecoin?
Your limited edition Foundation Series Cybertruck is ready to order.
Did you say limited edition?
Limited edition Foundation Series Cybertruck is ready to order. I have been spending all my time, literally 24/7 for the last month, trying to cancel my order and just not having any luck canceling my order. Because I got in with my deposit on day one, so I'm one of like the first couple hundred. As an early reservation holder, you have been invited to order your Foundation Series Cybertruck with early access to delivery. I'm guessing that means 2027, maybe. I don't know. It says further on that they're delivering trucks in California and Texas, and they're delivering as early as 2024. I don't know.
Oh,
whatever.
warm climates. Okay.
Yeah, well, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
So, yeah, I need to call Tesla and get my $100 back. That's what's going to happen with that. So let's dive into the showcase. If you haven't been able to tell, we are talking about all things Cybertruck.
That's right. I am so glad you're back. This is going to be a hell of a winter recap. Obviously, congratulations are in order. You had your second son. You know, that's an awesome big event in your life, but maybe not as big as getting the opportunity to pick up this Cybertruck.
Yes, yes, yes.
So to quote Steve and Izzy from our Everything I Learned from Movies episodes, what have we learned about the Cybertruck now that people are taking delivery of these things?
We learn that they're available, but they're not available. Tesla really doesn't want to sell any because they're trying to offer you money to buy another Tesla. So you don't, I guess, sit around waiting for a Cybertruck that may or may not exist. All the ones that are out there running are doing funky things like crashing and, weird things like that. All good things.
Let's start with this. You got that email. Does it give you any details? Are you able to go in and maybe spec it out and figure out how much it's going to cost? Because I've heard some rumors numbers about what maybe the real price is for these Cybertrucks.
So this one's going to be expensive. Your Cybertruck will be fully optioned and will include limited edition laser etched badging, premium accessories, charging equipment with power share, home backup hardware, all-terrain tires, full self-driving capability,
Wait, all-terrain tires.
all terrains.
She got hung up on all-terrain tires?
Wait, do you mean the tires that can't get up a hill in the woods or when there's like snow?
Be the ones. I don't know which all-terrain tires they are offering, but they're probably not Duratrax, which means they're probably not very good.
Don't ruin it for everybody.
But here's the part I thought Tanya would have honed in on. Full self-driving capability.
That's what I thought too. She got hung up on these all-terrain tires.
I wasn't listening.
Full self-driving capability that will need to be recalled before I even take delivery
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's false advertising. So maybe I should take this email and just sue Tesla.
Well, the lawsuit's not over yet. That's why. That's why they can still use it, I guess.
But still no talk about what it costs, though.
Million
Well,
dollars.
I can continue to my account. I haven't logged into this in like 3 years, 4 years.
Maybe 5.
When was it first announced?
Like 15 years ago?
With that steampunk kind of like cyberpunk.
Wasn't it in the year before COVID?
The year 2000.
In the time before?
Yeah, it was like in the before times. Yeah, it was like in the November.
BC, before COVID?
Yeah, before COVID. Yeah. I was working at that terrible mortgage company.
Oh man, that was a while ago then.
Yeah, 2019.
Geez, 5 years since you put this deposit down. And the one thing that makes your particular deposit special is you actually went full in on the tri-motor version of this thing. So it is like the upper echelon of Cybertrucks if it ever comes to fruition.
That's why it's the top of the line limited edition, something or other. Let's see.
Limited to somebody.
Limited to my imagination.
What I've read is they had all these bargain basement prices. Oh, you can get a Cybertruck. It's going to be the cheapest truck in town, blah, 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 50,000, 60,000, 30,000, you know, all these numbers that you never sure. It's sort of like Christmas time where they double the price and then put it on sale 50% off, one of those kind of deals. But I'm reading over 100 grand for these things.
So the all-wheel drive Foundation Series tri-motor fully loaded, $99,990.
Before taxes.
Yeah, well, they lost the tax credit, didn't they? So you can't
Yeah.
get that. You can get the Cyber Beast. I can upgrade if I wanted to the Cyber Beast.
Beast mode.
For $119,990. Stop playing games, Tesla. $100,000 or $120,000. Dropping that $10 off does not make it any better. I apparently had very lofty goals for my income when I put the order in on this truck. I will tell you what.
But let's put that in perspective, though. We already know that pickup trucks are expensive to begin with, but how much truck, real truck, can you buy for 100 grand these days?
I mean, you can get a fully optioned out diesel 3500 dually or something like that. F-250 King Ranch or something like that.
Talk about a beast. That's a real beast compared to this thing. And we'll get into more of these specifics of what's working and what's not with the Cybertruck here as we've learned in doing this research.
I'm not even done.
But wait, there's more. Call now.
So yeah, 100,000 or 120,000. You can add the range extender for $16,000. So it's 116,000 or $136,000 for any of the tri-motor versions.
At what percentage APR these days?
Car loans are for excellent credits in like the 5 to 7% range, something like that. And it only goes up from there.
Still a lot.
Well, you finance it for 30 years like a mortgage.
I mean, when you're talking six-figure cars.
So, okay, yeah, the interest rate would be 6.59%. You can do up to 84 months with a $4,500 down payment. Your monthly payment for 7 years
Oh my God.
on a truck that probably won't last 2 years is $1,500. Tesla not only does their own insurance, but I think they do their own financing too.
Well, they also do some other financing. Do you guys remember the Tesla Roadster and the 1,000 people that put money down on that thing like 10 years ago? If you do the math on that, it's like a cool $250,000 they got tax-free.
What kind of scheme is it? Like, does it have a name where you get people to put deposits down and you get 1 million people to put $100 down and then you use that money to finance yourself and don't give them anything?
I believe that's called a sweepstakes.
So this is the Tesla model. We've got this great idea. We can't afford to build it, so we're going to sell it now, and then we're going to use the funds from the sale to build it. And then we're going to come up with another idea and we're going to sell that. We're going to sell the idea and then use those funds to build this other idea.
I figured it out. It's like the Fire Festival. Everybody put in all this money.
Yes.
And
Yes. It's
some people got a t-shirt.
Tesla is the Fire Festival of the automotive world. I love it. Like Eric said, the Ponzi scheme.
All of it's vaporware. So how many Tesla Roadsters are going to get built, do you think?
Well, the Tesla Roadsters are funding the Cybertruck.
Can you put your deposit down yet?
1,000 people or something put down deposits on those things. And how many years ago was that? We're talking about the lasers and the cannons, and it's going to be 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. It's going to be the fastest car to play. You remember that episode we did season 1, Brad, like 5 years ago with Bobby Parks, and he was talking about how they were going to go drag racing with the Tesla Roadster. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I didn't believe it then. And we're all cautiously optimistic, but it's literally been 5 years. It's never going to happen. Well, we said the same thing about the Cybertruck, so
Yes, but it's also
a piece of
here
crap.
rife with problems.
Yes. So this is the Tesla Roadster sweepstake and Cybertruck semi-truck program.
Hey, if you order now, we'll throw in
A windshield wiper blade.
Does it have windshield wipers?
a
Yeah,
single
it's got that one. It's got that one giant windshield
one
wiper.
large one. That wiper blade keeps giving them issues.
Something so basic.
And remember, I said blade, not blades.
Blade. It's that 6-foot windshield wiper.
They're delaying Cybertruck orders because the windshield wiper doesn't work.
Well, it also takes 37 menu clicks to turn it on. They don't want you to use it. That's why it's buried so far down in the menu.
Just the supply chain quality issue
Yeah, okay,
on the
yeah.
wiper motors. They're failing. No big.
Well, you have to
happen.
imagine the torque put on that wiper motor with a single arm that's like 6 feet long, and then the air resistance. How big is that motor that's got to move that thing
Somebody didn't do the engineering calcs.
It's a 2.3 liter EcoBoost.
just to move the windshield wiper?
It's the windshield wiper.
It does remind me, having seen it in person, if you remember the 190E and some of the other Mercedes of that time period in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Some of them had like that big scissor wiper.
Honda Civic had that.
Yeah, but they also had a single wiper blade on the Mercedes, and it was massive. It worked then, I guess. Okay, so we confirmed that. It has side mirrors now. It doesn't have lasers or sharks with lasers. It kind of looks like a shark toy with lasers on it in a way. We'll talk about the aesthetics here as we go along. We already know about the less than 10 microns of panel gap and all that stuff. We've reviewed that in the past.
Better than Legos.
You know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing how to get my $100 back. That's what I'm not seeing. Where's the link for that?
You told the ethos, the great wide interwebs, you would give away your Cybertruck allotment for a bucket of chicken. Has anybody
Yes.
taken you up on this yet? I mean, come on, man.
No, I've been waiting for Mark Hewitt to give me a call and he just has not reached out. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Because he's trying to figure out how to buy Dogecoin, because even that doesn't exist anymore.
Is your donation to the Tesla Corporation, is that tax deductible on your yearly taxes?
It's supposed to be fully refundable. Yeah, I filed it. I got the tax write-off for that back in 2019. I do have a correction to make, though. Breaking news, my Foundation series is not the tri-motor Cyber Beast.
Oh,
It's just the dual motor. So the dual motor is $100,000 when the dual motor was supposed to be $80,000 when they first announced it.
Do we have a countdown timer for this like we did with the DeLorean? You remember that? That we need the same thing for you.
Oh, the stopwatch was stopped back in 2019 because I'm not actually ever going to pick up one of these fucking
No,
things.
because you want a bucket of chicken for this.
Yes, I want a bucket of chicken. I will even take a bucket of chicken from 2019. You know what? No, I want, when it was first announced, one of the day one Popeyes had that chicken sandwich that was sold out and
Yeah.
people were like stabbing each other for them. I want one of those. Give me one of those Popeyes chicken sandwiches and you can have my $100.
So you're saying that's worth more than your Cybertruck allotment? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Even if you did get your Cybertruck, I'm going to convince you to buy this thing by the time it's over, right? This is like our little what should I buy here.
You're not going to convince my wallet to buy it.
You only get one car to buy, though. It's a Cybertruck.
What? You only get one car to buy and it's a Cybertruck? I guess I'm riding my bicycle.
Cyberbike.
Think of the mulch you can haul.
Or you can't haul, apparently. We'll talk about that too. If you did take delivery of this thing, let's say you set up all the financing and you're making your payments and all this kind of stuff, and you get, I got my Cybertruck, and you decide in 3 months you want to get rid of it. There was a bunch of, again, shenanigans are the words I'm going to use here about whether or not you could actually unload the car, trade it in, get rid of it, sell it? Were you going to get sued? Aren't you going to get sued? I still don't know the answer to this.
I don't know either. I would assume you would get sued, but it depends. I think if you try to flip it for more than you paid, like if I took it to CarMax and said, "Hey, will you take this?" First of all, they won't take it. But second of all, if CarMax was to take it, I certainly wouldn't get market value. I'd get below market value for it. So I don't think Tesla would have a problem with that. I think they're trying to stop the people that are taking their day one investment and flipping it to somebody else for $150,000, $200,000.
They just sold one at Mecum and it came in at 105, which is just barely over sticker. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Which is what I was hoping to do until I couldn't even get it about to get a chicken for it.
You mentioned before that they're offering people $1,000 to change their reservations over. Is that in the system? Can you do that now? Can you convert that to a Tesla Model 3 reservation instead?
Not anymore. I could only have done that by end of year last year.
That's really timely too, because they just announced that they're going to be restyling the Model 3. So if you missed that window and said, you know what, the heck with the Cybertruck, I want to get that new Model 3 that's coming out. Now you're sort of stuck with, again, what you got.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's out the window. That's no fun. You can't sell it. You can't get $1,000 for it. You can't get the economic rebate from the government for it.
The price went up because of inflation from the day they announced it.
Exactly.
What you gonna do? What are you to do?
Well, you're going to buy a bucket of chicken because you're hungry, but nobody's going to give it to you for that Cybertruck allotment. We've established that.
I'm gonna get my $100 back, and then I'm gonna buy $100 worth of chicken, and I'm gonna share it with my closest friends.
And I think this next article sort of hits this idea right on the head, which is the Cybertruck is just another bloated EV that misses the point of being green transportation. And this is written by like an IT blog or whatever. And so they're comparing the Cybertruck to the F-150 and the Rivian R1T and all this kind of stuff. I have this like dodoy moment when I look at this because it is not functional. And this does give us an opportunity to talk about the aesthetics of the truck. You see the videos like on YouTube and stuff. I don't know what to think. I don't know who to believe when people say, oh, it's so amazing. It looks so good. What do you consider ugly, right? I guess I need to phrase it that way because I don't see the beauty. I can understand someone in the art community trying to explain to me why cubism and all the Picasso and the melting clocks and all this stuff is beautiful. Okay, great. But I don't see the beauty in this thing.
I think beautiful is the wrong word. There's nothing beautiful about it. There are very few cars these days that are beautiful.
But why would you buy this thing? Is it just ironic? Is it like those memes that I don't understand?
Because in that very peak, it looks like it's got a lot of headroom for the driver. That's all I care about.
Have you seen anybody sit in it?
No.
It's like a Supra. You're on the slope side of the roof, so there is no headroom.
Oh, well, that's dumb.
It's so weird. I don't even know how you see out of these. I don't get it.
It's so when you flip it over, you can spin it around like a top. When you flip it on the trail.
So, yeah, it's just another bloated truck.
EV, bloated EV.
Yeah.
Not good as a truck.
There
it's
you
not good
go.
as an EV. What is it good as?
Well, I don't know, because let's talk about that all-wheel drive system and those fabulous all-terrain tires that Tanya got so excited about. Have you seen these videos of the few Cybertrucks that are out in the snow?
I haven't seen the ones of the snow, but I saw the one that wrecked.
That was a while ago, but these ones in the snow, I mean, you can see the all-wheel drive trying to do something. There's definitely some latency from front to back because obviously the systems aren't connected. It's not like Quattro or like a Jeep or something like that. There's no mechanical all-wheel drive here. It's all digital, right? These all-terrain tires must be slicks because they don't work. And then the hilarious video was over on Jalopnik, and this Cybertruck gets pulled out by like a regular F-350. Looked like he was just off the showroom, like nothing special. It's not like he had a lift kit, 93-inch tires with Bigfoot knobs on them. So he just pulled the Cybertruck out. And the Cybertruck's not light by any stretch of the imagination, but that's something to be said too. You have a heavy vehicle in the snow. It should kind of like, let's say, push itself down into the ground. If you have decent tires, you should be able to get around, but it can't get out of its own way.
It looks like snow and ice is stuck in the grooves of the tires. So basically you've created a slick. I'm assuming it doesn't have a low range transfer case.
Why would it? It's all digital, right? There's no real all-wheel drive system in there.
I know. I bet an Audi could get out of that hole.
I mean, that second video where he's kind of going up the driveway, back end's like fishtailing and stuff, and it's just trying to crab walk its way up. To your point, I think a Audi could do that. My Jeep could definitely do that. There's a lot of other four-wheel drive vehicles that could do it. So you're paying all this extra money for dual motor, tri-motor, whatever, For what? To have a bunch of extra stuff in the rain? This thing could be front wheel drive, and I guess it'd be like the new Aztec, I guess.
To be fair, a lot of vehicles would get stuck like that, though. It depends on how you're driving it. It depends on if you've got a low range. I think your Jeep's got a 4 low that you can put it in, which is it's different gearing and changes the power delivery, which is necessity in snow and stuff like that. You know what this reminds me of? On Top Gear, they used to make fun of the BMW X5s.
Yeah.
Because the all-wheel drive system in those was not very good. If they had appropriate tires, or maybe they should put chains on their tires.
Kind of defeats the purpose, though.
My truck would probably look like that. With an empty bed, with no weight over the rear. I guess the battery's in the rear, though. I'm not impressed, though.
And I don't think a lot of people are. And you know what else really isn't impressive? We've talked about it many times before, which are these stupid drag races. Tesla versus the world. And this latest one is just, I don't even know what to say. It's just a spectacle. I also heard that it was a complete farce and it's mostly produced and or staged. So it's a Cybertruck that's trailering a 911, drag racing a 911. And what am I supposed to take away from this?
Who won?
Well, who do you think won?
And they were doing a what? Quarter mile?
Quarter mile drag race.
I would assume an electric vehicle can get up to the quarter mile faster.
But again, what is the point? Who cares?
It wasn't even a Taycan?
No, it was a regular gas 911.
Both are base level 911 Carreras, so no additional power or anything like that. It's just a base 911,
And?
which is still no slouch. It's 350, 400 horsepower in the base level 911. So Tesla and Porsche go back and forth all the time, though, with who's better. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you don't see a 911 towing a Model 3 or a Taycan towing a Model 3. It doesn't make any sense.
Cayenne.
So that's what they should have done. That's what Porsche needs to come back with a Cayenne Turbo towing a Model 3.
And blowing this thing out of the water. Publicity stunt for the sake of publicity stunts. To me, it doesn't make any sense. It's just another stupid Tesla drag race, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Another stupid drag race. But this time, the Tesla loses. Loser! Loser!
Was this an off-road drag race?
It was between an F-150 Lightning and a Cybertruck. And the Lightning leaves the Cybertruck in the dust. I mean, the sand.
I was gonna say he dusted him.
Yeah, he dusted him good. Real good.
Oh, well, you know, the tires, the problem is supply chain, the manufacturer of the rubber.
That Tesla got a head start, but that Lightning came up quick and just called it a day.
Maybe it's just the way, because when you video wheels and stuff, it almost looks like the rear of the F-150 actually locks up. It is just dragging the rear wheel.
It's the camera.
I could watch this video all day long on repeat. It is just fantastic. I love the guy with the American flag. Like, here, Ford, here. Just, I absolutely love it. Oh, that's good stuff.
Which is a better run company, Tesla
Oh,
or
God.
General Motors?
Notice that there was not a Chevy Silverado in this drag race. It was a Ford.
That is true.
Now, the more interesting thing, so Motor Trend has done a comparison test, and before you read the answer, between the Cybertruck, the Rivian R1T, and the F-150 Lightning. Which truck do you think came out on top?
I'm going to take a wild stab here.
And of course, they looked at the real world mileage, towing, they looked at off-road capability, acceleration. They did some like figure 8 tests.
How many Porsches were they towing in this exercise?
They towed some 3,200 almost pound camper trailer.
All right.
The real question is who comes in second?
Okay.
Because we already know who comes in first.
No, who do you think comes in first? Go bottom up. Who's number 3?
I think the Lightning is at the bottom.
Ooh, I was going to put the Lightning at top.
No, we already know the Lightning sucks at towing. Like we've seen those real life tests with the guys with the campers and all that stuff. I think that's at the bottom.
We haven't seen a real life test with the Cybertruck or the Rivian.
No, it's towed a 911. That's all we needed to know. It beat a 911, towing a 911.
You can tow a 911 down a quarter mile, not 300 miles down the interstate.
How far is your Home Depot from your house?
About 4.5 miles.
There you go. That's as far as you need to go.
But then can you shovel mulch over the side?
You laugh, but in the cargo carrying category, I will say this. They commented that the Cybertruck, you can't easily shovel mulch out over the side rails as you can in other trucks. Boom, mulch.
I've never seen anybody shovel mulch out of their truck. Is that a thing? Like all these guys with their pristine bed liners, I'm like, you buy bag mulch. Come on.
I don't think they actually put mulch in these. I think it's just a funny way of saying like the way that the bed sides are angled. It's not
Terrible.
really great for getting stuff out. Anyway, so you think number 3 is the Lightning. So who do we think
Yes.
is number 2?
I don't want it to be the Rivian. Is this one of those like it's slanted in favor of the Cybertruck because everybody's given it so much grief?
Who do you think is number 2?
I'm gonna roll hard. I'm gonna take a chance and say the Rivian beat the Tesla.
I have to abstain from voting because I saw the result.
Oh, dang. All right. So what happened?
The Rivian is number 1 in this
Yes!
comparison, followed
Yes!
by the Cybertruck, and then followed by the F-150 Lightning.
Logic prevails.
Yes. So
So what I learned from this, just from this opening picture, because I didn't scroll any further than that, I didn't realize the headlights are in that gap, which I assume is a panel gap between the front nose and whatever that thing they call a bumper is at the bottom. Like, so that streak of light across the front is
That's a daytime running light.
exactly. I thought that was the
That's fucking
headlights.
dumb. Oh my God, that makes the truck even stupider.
So ugly. And then now that I'm scrolling down, this is the first time I've gotten a very clear picture of the wiper blade.
Oh, so speaking of the wiper blade,
What does that wipe?
Your ass.
How does this work?
I thought it, Brad said it. Here you go. Commenting on Tesla. Tesla presents a curve that's so steep, a new driver venturing into a big puddle will learn that with the wheels and windshield so far forward, visibility can be completely obscured by the splash of potentially muddy water. A terrible time to learn the two-step process for activating the Giga Wiper. Thumb the tiny button on the steering wheel with the windshield washer icon, then look down and choose your wiper setting from a pop-up menu on the screen.
Wow.
It got really poor marks in terms of like visibility. Apparently, you can't see out of the thing.
They summarize it in 2 words. It says further in the article, bunker visibility. Oh, this is terrible. I also like the other comment in the con column, cosplay, quote unquote, off-road tires.
Apparently, they were horrible. They mudded up immediately and it went like spinning and sliding. Whereas, like the Rivian and the Ford on their like whatever normal street tires were, it was like fine. It
On
could
their
do
Coopers
everything.
that they got, like whatever. I also like the borderline dangerous secondary controls.
Yeah, like that windshield wiper.
This is great.
Like there's a reason why, and it goes back to the manufacturers now also backpedaling on the whole infotainment. Let's control everything with this big, huge iPad in the middle of your console. The tactile, the levers behind the steering wheel, knobs that you can intuitively just reach for, feel, and you don't have to look at them. I shouldn't have to divert my eyes to use my windshield wipers. I should just be able to flick if they're on immediately.
I feel like the Cybertruck is this giant social experiment. We're going to throw the craziest crap at this and then see how people react to it. Who's the engineer that said, you know what? I'm going to make the windshield wiper work like this. Let's see what they think about. Like the whole truck is here, hold my beer, right? It makes no sense whatsoever. But again, these are some of the clearest pictures I've gotten of the windshield wiper, the side mirrors, the headlights, some other things about the truck. And what's also fun about the picture of the Cybertruck just above the pro and con column, look how gross
I
the
I
finish
was like,
is.
is this like yeah. It looks dirty.
It's just awful, like disgusting.
It looks like, you haven't washed your car in a month and it gets that grime that's like streaking down the sides. I'm like, just go look at your stainless steel appliances in your kitchen. Come on.
And that roof line, I mean, it looks like combination Frank Lloyd Wright meets a kindergartner. Like, who wants their car to look like a house in profile? Like, it doesn't make sense. I could make something less angular out of Legos and with better precision, as we know, than this Cybertruck. Like, oh God, it's terrible.
See, it's all misunderstood.
Oh,
The
is it?
problem is the type of stainless steel they have chosen is magnetic. It has slight magnetism to it. Therefore, the metal fallout from everywhere, be it brake dust, passing a railroad track, factories, they're sprinkling little metal pieces that are attracted to the stainless steel body panels, and then they get attached there, and that metal is what's rusting, not the
Lies.
actual Cybertruck
Yeah,
panel.
flag on the play.
I call bullshit.
So even normal painted cars have this problem.
What?
I call bullshit because there's nothing that's attracted to the Cybertruck.
All right.
Just go get some barkeeper's friend and just polish your thing all the time.
Yeah, I guess you can't use like Gugon or whatever the bug stuff is to get rid
Can
of
we
it.
just take this back to basics? The whole point of stainless steel is that it's not supposed to rust. The fact that it's rusting indicates to me that it's not
No.
stainless steel.
No. It's the stainless steel itself is not rusting.
It's the metal that attaches to it.
There are deposits of metal that are falling onto the stainless steel body and getting stuck there. And those little pieces of metal are what is rusting and creating the little orange flecks everywhere.
Are we on that game show to tell a lie?
We're going to tell you 3 statements. 2 of these are true.
Yeah.
1 is a lie.
Two truths and a lie.
Yeah, this is like, wait, don't tell me now, right? I mean, this is insane.
Did DeLorean have these problems?
So apparently, they did change their grade of stainless steel at one point to make it more repelling, less magnetic. I don't know enough about DeLorean's history because I've never heard, but again, the community is very small, so who's to say?
So is the Cybertruck community.
It's getting smaller every day.
Yeah, it's smaller and smaller.
Based on precedent, on all the other things we've learned about Tesla and all the other adventures that we've been on through Tesla Gate over the years.
I don't know what to believe.
Exactly. And it will come to pass in several years that it's really actually brushed sheet metal posing as stainless steel and the cars are rusting. Full stop.
Regardless, if I paid $100,000 for it, I don't know, put an effing clear coat on the stainless steel.
You think?
No, you just put a wrap on it.
Does that defeat the purpose again?
We're happy to offer you that as an extra fee. There must have been something they could have sealed the panels with to prevent this, if it's truly the industrial fallout.
They could have used great stuff because the doors leak like every other Tesla does, right? The point is, more of these issues are coming out. Like we've said, it was kind of rushed to production.
Rushed? Hasn't it been in production? Have they been trying to build it for like a decade? It's been rushed.
Rushed to production. Wow, rushed to production.
Rushing it for a decade.
2 lies and a truth. Well, there you go.
2 truths and a lie. That was clearly the truth.
It's unbelievable. It is.
No, wait, you have to go back to Brad's Foundation edition. You haven't talked about the range it's going to get.
Oh.
This says all prices are shown without incentives or estimated 7-year gas savings of $8,400.
Wait, you're only going to save for 7 years? And then the gas car is
Oh.
better? What?
Yeah, because it says a Cybertruck is $900 estimated electricity per year versus a gasoline car is $2,100 estimated gas costs at 13,000 miles, $3.30 a gallon.
Okay. Let's stop
20
right
miles
there.
per gallon.
Hold on. Yeah, all that's great. That's well and good. But imagine this. You fit in a GR Corolla, right?
I do not have an answer for that.
They're going to compare it against an F-150 triple duty quad cab extended King Ranch.
Shenanigans. Okay. But what I'm saying is, for the rest of us normal humans, especially those of us that are automotive enthusiasts listening to this, the GR series cars are hot. Whether you're into the 86 or the Super or the Corolla or the Yaris or any of those, let's just say Toyota's the place to go if you want a hot hatch or a sports car right now from the not American market. So let's just say you pick up a Corolla for 40 grand, Cybertruck's 100. You can't tow anything with either of them. You can actually probably get more in the back of that Corolla hatchback than the Cybertruck. How much are you actually spending on gas after 7 years on a GR Corolla? Even if you bought that special, what is it, the Mitsano edition or whatever that thing is that they have, the special one, add another 10 grand to it. You're still going to come out on top with a gas car. It's sort of like when we would debate diesel versus gas and people were like, I'm not buying a diesel truck because there's a $20,000 tax on it and I'm never going to recoup the amount of diesel because diesel's more expensive, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. I'm wondering if this debate about some of these EVs, especially really expensive ones like this, kind of come out in the wash in the same way. It's diesel versus gas all over again. Is it really worth buying the EV when you can buy, let's say, a couple-year-old off-lease Mercedes-Benz that's depreciated, have a really nice car, money left over? How much gas are you going to buy in that 7-year period? Let's say if you own a Mercedes.
There's a gentleman out there in the world who also, I guess, put a day one reservation in and has his Foundation Edition Cybertruck, decided to take it on a 27-hour, 1,340-mile road trip from Austin, Texas to California, and he had to stop 12 times to recharge it.
At 30 minutes of charge, that's wow, an additional
I'm
6
assuming it
hours.
took a longer than 27 hours then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 111 miles per charge. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not good. That is terrible.
So here it says 318-mile range estimated, or 340-mile range with the all-season tires, which are available to purchase. So those trucks that you saw may not even have the all-terrain. They may just have all seasons,
Oh man.
which are not good anyway.
And also, apparently, the truck doesn't fit well to the charger, and so it basically maxes out the cable length. The Tesla chargers barely reach charge port, so you have that to contend with. Also, you better back it up real
Oh my
close.
God.
That's like the people that pull into the gas station on the wrong side of the pump, and then they're dragging it around the side of their car trying to pump it because they don't feel like moving their car. Been there, done that. And then the towing capacity. I thought it was supposed to be over 20,000 pounds towing. It's only 11. My current truck gets 9,900.
Then there's plenty of other pickups that can do 10, 12,
Yeah.
11,000 pounds.
Yeah. How about anything diesel can do easily 15, 20?
So, Brad, do you remember when we gave you the option, when you're still trying to sell? Well, oh, wait, you are still trying to sell your Cybertruck allotment. When we talked about the Cybertruck, do you remember that one on Craigslist?
Yes. The one that was built on an MDX.
Yeah. It was quality, right?
It was, yeah, quality. It was IKEA quality.
Dude, those panel gaps were really, really nice. Okay. You remember we've talked before, there's been other people that have made cars out of wood, right? That guy that, restored his Dos Chevaux out of wood. And there's a guy that made a Ferrari out of wood. But there's this dude in Vietnam that seems to just have a real knack for building replicas of vehicles. He's at it again, and he built a wooden Cybertruck. I don't know what it's based on, but he said he was going to send it to Elon because, quote, I am aware that Tesla has faced its share of challenges in bringing the Cybertruck to fruition. However, I maintain unwavering faith in your vision and capabilities of Tesla. I hope to have the honor of gifting this wooden Cybertruck to you and Tesla to wish you and Tesla continued success and to maintain your position in the international arena. This guy's super nice. He spent 15 grand on this thing. It looks better than the real thing.
Oh my God. He built a wooden ATV with it.
Yeah, man. This guy's legit.
It's tube frame.
Yeah.
This thing's awesome. I would pay 15 grand for this as a side by side.
That's the real Cybertruck right there. Here's the deal. Elon actually responded to this guy. And Tanya, would you like to tell the audience what he said? He has these eloquent emails that he sent out that have been leaked to the public and things like he's got a great way of presenting things.
He has a way with words, I will say that.
Absolutely. Marketing genius. So what did he say in response to this gentleman?
Sure, much appreciated.
I was surprised you didn't go here, Tanya, but we're going to go here now because his reaction was so benign. Sure, much appreciated. Because what he should have really said is what he said on Twitter.
What was that in response to? So I don't even remember because it could have applied to so many things.
It was stupid and it went viral. I forget what it was. And he responded to it was some interview or something. And he told the guy to go F himself. And I'm just like, ugh. But it was on Twitter, which is a platform that everybody's been bailing ship like rats off the Titanic. I don't really care, but I thought it was hilarious. Go Elon. Woo.
Who cares?
He was responding to advertisers boycotting X.
That's a good way to get your advertisers back.
X going to give it to you. That's the marketing campaign right there. X going to give it to you.
X marks the spot.
A man with so many things to say. And that's it. I mean, this guy went out of his way to build this beautiful Cybertruck. All jokes aside, it is really nice.
What he should do is share with Elon Musk his manufacturing process because 100 days, I feel like that's going to beat Cybertruck manufacturing and delivery.
Yeah, right?
Times. It looks really good too. I would totally buy it. It looks kind of small though, but it looks good. I like it.
I think it's the scale. I think it's that it's not stainless steel, that it looks smaller than it really is. And because it's not stainless steel, you know what else it has going for it? No smudge marks. And you can clean it with Pledge.
It's a modern day Morgan.
Lemony fresh.
It's lemony fresh.
Well, Brad, when you do take delivery of your Cybertruck, you're going to have to celebrate.
Celebrate my ass. I'm going to celebrate with a divorce if I take delivery of this truck.
You're going to celebrate something one way or the other. So let's just say you need to celebrate with a case of cyber beer.
Oh my God, the angles on that bottle.
Right? According to this, it says Tesla superfans are complaining about the $150 cyber beer, calling it hot garbage and posting pictures of rusty bottle caps. It does look like complete swill.
It looks like someone pissed in a bottle.
Let's say you're partying a little too hard in your garage by yourself.
Well, then your Cybertruck can drive you home.
Well, yeah, that's true. Self-driving
Fully
according to,
autonomous
yeah.
until it runs into a wall or a fire truck.
Did you know if you spill your beer on your Cybertruck, you can now get Renew Cyber Shield cleaned it up with?
Wow.
I mean, I would have just gone with Windex.
Oh, no, stainless steel, barkeeper's friend.
Yeah, barkeeper's friend.
That's what you should use on that thing. But no, special Cyber Shield. But the big question is, and this next article had me laughing, and I thought of Tanya when I read it. Does the Cyber Shield, which is a cleaning and protective layer, blah, 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 all these wonderful paint protection products and chemicals we have these days, graphene and carbon ceramic and all this stuff. But the question is, does it actually protect against bird shit? Because reports are coming in that bird droppings can actually ruin the stainless steel finish of the Cybertruck. So, Brad, you had to worry in the past about birds sitting on a tree branch and pooping on your golf. Now it could burn a hole in the stainless steel of your Cybertruck.
How did DeLorean get away with it? Well, none of them ran. They were all parked in garages, I guess.
See, you answered your own question. Exactly.
Well, then you just take it to the factory and have them replace the body panel that got damaged for thousands of dollars.
So what happens in the winter? Because obviously there's bird droppings are maybe acidic or whatnot, and over time could corrode or oxidize the stainless steel because it's not impermeable to things. But like salt is not that good on stainless steel.
You get that nice crust on the salt on the stainless steel.
And sometimes in poor quality stainless steel, and you'll see it in like cookware, when you throw salt in the water to boil the water for pasta and things like that, you can actually get pitting that happens on the bottom of the pan when you put the salt in at the improper time and things like that. So in the wintertime, when they put the brine and all that stuff down on the roads and you're driving around and you can't wash the car right away because it's 17 degrees outside.
You're going to go out and it's going to be like Fred Flintstone, and you're going to be able to see through the doors and the fenders.
I mean, I said it before. People, you have stainless steel appliances in your home. The fridge, the stove, the dishwasher. You get a drop of water on it. 2 minutes later, the thing looks like you vomited all over it, and you're sitting there buffing it every 2 minutes so that it's shiny and nice looking.
But you have carbon ceramic graphene shield spray-on car detailers to take care of all that.
Okay, and then when the rock chip hits it and breaks that coating and then the surface is exposed, it can start looking like when your wheels pit after a while. The cancer that happens on some wheel coatings.
To think that bird droppings could ruin the finish isn't unfathomable.
That's not unheard of, because droppings, if you leave it on a regular painted car, will eat through the clear coat after a while and can cause damage.
Well, not only that, in talking to DeLorean owners and listening to how they do car care and stuff, there is a certain way to clean the stainless. And to your point, Barkeeper's Friend and some other of these household cleaners is the way to go. But you also have to remember that you need to grain the stainless steel.
No kidding.
Done in a certain
You can get
direction.
swirl on regular paint. Now, a Brillo pad, you see what happens if you use like even a soft thing sometimes on cookware. God forbid, like you're rubbing it with something that has some sort of grit that you don't realize, you're going to have massive swirl marks.
It's going to look terrible.
Maybe all our concerns are completely unfounded and unwarranted, and we just don't know.
We talked about the Cybertruck and how the stainless steel and care and maintenance of all that stuff. Tesla is making this move now, and I think it's a cost-saving maneuver because painting a car is actually very expensive. People are like, just paint the car and clear coat it. So paint shops can cost multiples of millions of dollars to do that, and now they're talking about wrapping their cars coming from the factory. So you can pick a wrap, whatever style you want, all this kind of thing. And reports are coming in that the wrap quality might be as bad as the paint.
This costs $8,000, and that's cheaper than a paint job. Because if you went to somebody third party and had it painted, I think you could paint your car for that, under that.
But that's with a team of folks, and you got to count the labor hours and the prep
time.
time.
So on your freaking assembly line, it should be more cost effective.
It's cheaper to wrap because the one robot can do the whole car in one shot. They prime it, wrap it, it's out. If you have to do multi-stage painting and then the time it takes to cure the paint, clear the paint, buff the paint, finish the paint.
Man, nowadays they turn around the paint job in like a freaking day.
And they're terrible.
If only there was a car manufacturing process that really zeroed in and just had this process down of making cars mass produced and painting them and getting them through assembly and to the market really quickly. Has anybody been able to do that yet?
Not in 100 years, my friend.
Here you go. And this article even says you could go to a local body shop who could wrap a compact crossover car for size comparison for $3,500. So what are they charging you for 8 grand? That seems really expensive for what you're getting.
Cyber wrap.
I'm sorry, like I'm pretty sure the assembly line paint job would be cheaper.
But think about it. You can get your Cybertruck wrapped in a stainless steel wrap. Then you don't get the fingerprints on it, but it still looks the same.
Yeah, and then apparently people are complaining that there's bubbles and like missing pieces to the wrap. So their robots need to be Lego robots that can go to 0.00001 micron tolerance when they layer the wrap on your car.
But think about it this way. If you wrap the Cybertruck, it solves the panel gap problem because you wrap right over the gaps and now they're sealed and it looks like one smooth panel. He has solved the problem.
And then when you open the door, the whole wrap rips apart.
It looks like the wraps are ripping apart anyway.
Well, yeah.
No. It's a distressed look.
Oh, it's distressed. It's patina.
It's all the rage now. It's antiquing. It's all
I'm
the
going to
rage.
save my $8,000. I'm going to go to Mako and I'm going to get the $350 on sale holiday paint job.
God, what a
I'm not
mess.
suggesting you go that cheap on your paint job, but there is something in between 350 and 8 grand.
What are we up to next? Yeah, Tesla wraps about his paint jobs. Duh.
So how about this? What about a Cybertruck that's been polished to within an inch of its life?
Pretty cool.
Whoever did this, mirror-like finish.
Yeah.
It's almost camouflage when you look at it. So it's very Wraith, Stealth, Knight Rider. Is it worth $150,000?
Is it worth an extra $50,000?
No,
How dirty does that get?
I don't even know what to say. But that is how people are dealing with these Cybertrucks.
Paint them.
Wraps.
I have seen some black ones because I guess they're wrapped or whatever, and they do look like the Wraith at that point. They're pretty creepy going down the road.
Yeah.
I don't think the Cybertruck looks good in any color. You paint it blue. I mean, you paint it yellow, orange, these M&M colors that exist on, let's say, the Mopars and the Fords and stuff. There's no way. The body shape, it just doesn't work. It is cool. It's different. I mean, it is hyper polished. It looks like a mirror. I don't know that I would want that either.
Nope.
Shaq said he needed another car. And what did he buy?
Cybertruck.
See, Brad? He's another happy Cybertruck owner.
This is what irritated me.
However, it's, I guess, a one of a kind because it is a carbon fiber Cybertruck. So, Mr. O'Neill is actually a little bit intelligent because he went, I don't want this stainless steel trash.
I will pay quadruple for carbon fiber. That's a lot of carbon
I don't want to
fiber.
be out here buffing this thing.
It still weighs 8,000 pounds instead of 9,000 pounds, though. They should have made the Cybertruck out of carbon fiber. That would have been more cyber. That would have been more futuristic to have a street car that wasn't a hyper car made out of carbon fiber.
They could have made it out of Kevlar, so the whole thing was not bulletproof.
Carbon Kevlar is not new. They did that in the 80s on like Audis and Ferraris and stuff.
Stainless steel ain't new either, so he wasn't going for that.
No, it's straight back to the 80s on that too. It's still ugly, but I like the red light in the front though.
I think it looks cool.
It's murdered out.
I've seen a Cybertruck like this, like blacked out in my
There's
area.
one here, the guy wrapped it. It's still ugly, but it looks
Yeah.
better than the stainless.
It's better than it was, but it's still polishing a turd.
We're just not happy. We're grumpy curmudgeons screaming at the clouds. Everybody's going, you don't understand why the Cybertruck is so awesome. It's just as funny as these memes.
Yeah. I think to that point, this is going to be a golden age for our show because we can rag on the Cybertruck with all the new articles about how terrible it is for years to come.
In perpetuity.
I don't even want to give them airtime.
Well, we're going to do it for the rest of this episode. So guess what? So I'm reading about bird shit on the Cybertruck, and next across my desk, I get this from The Onion, which I know is a farce, but it cracked me up about pressure washing the Cybertruck, and they basically CGI'd or AI rendered the Cybertruck just getting obliterated by a power washer, and I just thought it was funny.
The Cybertruck is obviously the new, quote, hotness.
Ugh.
So it's top of mind. Finally, after 16,000 years, it's in production. 16 minutes after being in production,
Oh my God.
it's already recalled.
Oh my god, that's so fucking stupid.
And it's like a silly recall. I mean, it's a serious thing, but it's also silly at the same time. When we've gone through this, we've seen this before. It's the reason why all cars now have the little clips on the floor mats, is because unfortunately Toyota had to learn this painful lesson of what can happen in the footwell if something lodges and gets the accelerator pedal stuck. The car keeps accelerating.
But Tesla marches to the beat of their own drum.
Just want to point out the Germans had carpet clips in the 90s. It's not new.
Yes, but it wasn't until there was a problem.
Yeah, but their carpet clips cost $15,000.
Well, it's the little nubs underneath the
Yes.
carpet that have been, solidly holding carpet in place for
They're
ages.
bolted in from underneath the car, and then the only way to get them out is engine out.
Yeah, 100%.
Service position for your floor mat is engine out.
Well, in a Beetle, yes. Everything is engine out in a Beetle.
Well, the sad thing is you'd think that the little things like this, and this isn't a format issue yet.
If this is worse. This is much worse.
No, this is an accelerator pedal falling off issue.
Not the whole pedal, though, just the cover.
Just the slide-on cover, and apparently it's a glue issue. The glue, the temperature, I think, something I don't even remember because I don't care.
They're using Elmer's. That's what's wrong.
Yes.
They left Home Depot because shit was too
No,
expensive.
they didn't.
They went to Target and bought Elmer's from the school supply section, and then they're using that on this pedal.
It was back to school sales at the beginning of the year. It was
Oh,
discount, no tax on the glue.
Yeah, they bought out the entire Southwest region.
It literally says on the bottle, Elmer's glue all. It's pretty straightforward. It glues all, right?
Apparently
No.
not your whatever this accelerator pedal is even made of. I don't even know. Probably plastic, maybe a little bit of stainless steel,
Yeah,
leftover
right.
pieces that they reformed.
There's no wood in there?
No wood in this one. I know I read somewhere that they were attributing it to in the production line, something with the temperature, the adhesive wasn't right, and then
Oh, come on.
so it didn't set or something. So basically, when you're mashing down the accelerator pedal, you end up sliding the cover off, and then it jams into what would be.
Hold on a second. What kind of troglodyte is pressing the accelerator pedal like Donkey Kong?
Hey. Some of us have big feet and we can't control it.
No. Okay, because to the point of the Toyota incident, if I am using the inappropriate rubber floor mats in one of my vehicles, meaning that they don't clip in to the clips,
Right.
and I am constantly actually pulling the floor mat back, sometimes while I'm driving, just by virtue of my feet being there. I'm not even doing anything, but by virtue of my feet being on top of it, there's enough. I'm not pressing down on it, but it does slide forward constantly. So I
Yeah.
could see that a loose little bullshit cover on the pedal, especially it's the type of pedal that's on the floor,
Yeah.
then you kind of have that weird motion of you making your foot go up anyway. So I think it would be easy to have that cover come off. And then it jams into what would be the transmission tunnel if it had one, right? So that center console piece jams in there and then keeps the accelerator pedal depressed. And somebody apparently had it happen to them and they hit a pole with their allegedly.
I thought they called that ludicrous mode.
I don't know if the Cybertruck has ludicrous mode, but that was ludicrous to have happened.
Well, I love the fix. Can we get to the fix?
The fix is on par with everything, right? I mean, I personally would love to spend $100,000 on a car to have the glue not set correctly and then have the fix be a frickin' rivet.
I would like to point out I did research. Just like the Model Y, you can go to your local Home Depot, aisle 13, bay 26, and buy a packet of rivets for like a couple dollars. Home Depot.
Does a rivet work? Sure. Is it aesthetically pleasing anymore? I mean, not to say that it was to begin with without the rivet. The rivet could be an improvement. I don't know.
Par for the course with the Cybertruck, but hey.
You just spent $100,000 on a car, and that's how they're going to fix it. They're just going to be like, oh, yeah.
I mean, not to open this can of worms again, but this is what I keep saying. Everybody oohs and ahs over these vehicles, and the build quality is variable from car to car. and it is not on par with the 100-year-old manufacturers. Pick one: Chevy, Ford, Fiat, Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche. It doesn't matter.
Let's talk about build
Oh,
quality. You can't get these wet.
Jesus.
So they keep focusing on car washes or washing your car. But I'm like, so what happens when it rains and the car gets wet? It's shorting out the electronics temporarily, and you gotta like wait hours for it to reboot.
Doesn't rain that often in California where they build the Cybertruck.
Well, no, they built it in Austin, didn't they?
Again, does it rain in Austin?
Yes, it rains in Texas.
Lies, lies, fake news,
In the hill country, actually, where it's quite green, they do get some water.
lies.
And when the hurricanes come through, they get the remnants of the rain from those. At any rate, I couldn't find it. I thought I saw something going into the whole car wash thing where it's like, don't take it to the car wash, and make sure you take it to the car wash that it has to be some sort of like no drive mode or something. And it basically like shuts down, it like locks the charge port, it disengages the wipers apparently. Like what? And then it like locks the doors and all this stuff. And then there's like a roll mode, so it's I don't know. Anyway, but the article was a guy I think who washed out the bed, and then he ended up like bricking the truck for a
Oh my
while when
God.
it turned back on. And I thought I saw something going into that where they showed, I guess, water's going under the bed somehow and then getting like stuck in frame rails or something like that. And then I guess whatever wiring, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me. I saw it briefly and I closed it and I don't remember how to find the article again. But I'm just like, that's wild.
You think about it. I've seen people wash their trucks with a power washer. Why wouldn't you power wash a stainless steel truck?
Because the people that power wash their regular trucks aren't buying Cybertrucks. The people that are buying Cybertrucks, they're going to take them to their car wash down the street. They're not going to wash it in their driveway.
To your point, it's like there's so many other cars on the road that can get wet. And
Oh,
it's not a problem. Like, I think we've figured out how to send a car through a car wash and not have it be catastrophic. Like, what? Again, you spent $100,000 on a car that you can't get wet, you can't drive after midnight. Like, oh, is it a gremlin? Like,
You don't get it wet after midnight.
and not the AMC. Yeah, the 80s movie, The Gremlin. Oh my God.
Who is taking their Cybertruck to the car wash though? Because do you just wash stainless steel? I thought you just kind of wipe it down with a diaper or something.
well, no. So if you go on Tesla's website, there's a whole like page scrolling of how to clean the exterior of the thing. And it's like, don't use this, don't use that, don't do it in the sunlight, don't do it after you've eaten, wait 30 minutes.
You can only do it on the day of the full moon.
In Febtober. Yeah, like what?
There's like wild notes in here too. And this is from the Tesla website. Okay, this is legit stuff. Don't use alcohol on the headlights. I'm like, why? What are the headlights made out of? Alcohol evaporates.
Because your beer will rust the stainless steel.
Ah, okay, wrong alcohol. There was also a thing in here that was like, oh, if I could find it again, it was like, yeah, here it is. Do not aim water hoses. Okay, so like if you're washing your car and you had the garden hose, right? It's like, don't aim the water hose directly at the windows.
Wait, aren't these those indestructible bulletproof things?
Windows, I can't aim a garden hose at? Like what? Now, I don't think it's the glass itself because then it's the door or the hood seal.
I think they leak.
So don't get it wet, basically.
There's a higher probability of apex seals in an RX-7 sealing better than those window seals in the Cybertruck.
Apparently. And then it killed me at one of the things, like the recommended way to clean the stainless steel. Again, this is from Tesla.
Unreal.
I know you've written some articles about how to clean your car, and we've had the wax people on. I feel like even if you're not the most into detailing, you know this. And given it's stainless steel, it said that you use a circular motion. And I'm like, have you ever cleaned a stainless steel pot? If you have anything abrasive, a circular motion. Oh my God. I mean, even on a painted car, you don't really want to use a circular motion in case there's something gritty there because you will leave swirl marks. You always go, quote unquote, with the grain. So it's less noticeable. Oh my God.
Since we're talking about cleaning, I included an additional article here. It goes back to the, why the trucks are rusting because it's from February and it's not about that. I included it because I wanted you guys to see these pictures. I don't know if somebody urinated on this vehicle, vomited on this vehicle, or what, but this is why they look terrible. Like all the pictures in this article from Wired. Oh my God, this thing looks so bad. Awful.
Oh, yeah, no.
Absolutely awful.
It looks like your appliances in your, like, this was the first thing I said. Do you not know when you have water splashing, like the front of a dishwasher or your stove? Because it happens, people. You go reach for the towel that's either hanging on your dishwasher rack or, bar or on the
Yeah.
stove, oven door bar. Water hits the surface and it looks like garbage after 2 seconds.
I will say this. Now, this is an argument for something that I just recently tested. So if you go back into the April catalog, you'll see that Don from Garage Style and I did an episode with Dan Williams from Owner's Pride, and their Eco Wash is designed for low water conditions and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm going to try it because until I understand it and get a bottle and read it and kind of mess with it, I'm not going to really understand how it works. I tell you what, I think that soap is perfect for the Cybertruck. And here's why. I did it on 2 different vehicles and I was absolutely astounded by the results. Literally a capful. And I'm talking about like a Pepsi bottle capful that you would get on out of the 7-Eleven case full of this soap to 3 gallons of water. Rinse the car if you want. Don't. It doesn't matter. It comes out the same. I washed our van and I washed the Jeep using the Eco Wash with only 3 gallons of water. I didn't rinse the car before, did the whole thing, used up all 3 gallons of water that I had, didn't rinse it afterward. It looked as clean as if I had done it the traditional way or went to the car wash. Unbelievably good. One of those things that until I tried it, I wasn't convinced. But in the case of the Cybertruck, I could see something like Eco Wash being perfect for it.
So there is a section for waterless wash. You got to hand wash using a non-ionic pH neutral waterless wash with a high quality microfiber towel.
It sounds like that waterless shampoo.
And I was thinking the same thing. Again, 3 gallons of water to a cap full of soap. I did both cars, 3 gallons apiece. But I was thinking about it. If you're in a situation in California where water conservation is important, they have drought conditions, don't water your lawn, don't use a car wash, the Eco Wash is perfect. But then obviously taking it to the next logical conclusion, if you really can't get the Cybertruck wet, sort of like washing a cat, I suppose, this is perfect. This is something I would recommend in all seriousness to Cybertruck owners to use.
I recommend getting rid of the truck.
Or you could just spot clean using a glass cleaner and microfiber cloth, spray the glass cleaner and wipe in a zigzag motion.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So many rules with this truck.
it's wild. And basically, and the other rules are immediately clean the surface. So bird poops on it, pull over. Get your glass cleaner and zigzag it off. Don't want to create scratches because it's going to scratch. Now, there is a solution to this problem.
Don't buy a Cybertruck.
It's called paint.
It's called the $5,000 clear coat.
Oh my God.
Why it's not standard?
You can't rattle can it?
You could. Why not? You could paint it. Although it might short out. I don't know what happens with the paint.
Well, I would say paint over the glass too. Just seal everything in and call it a day. Prevent any future leaks.
I think the best solution is to trade your Cybertruck in for a Rivian.
A Fisker.
So there's still more Tesla. This one's even better
There's more Tesla news.
Oh, something we haven't talked about much this year at all.
because the Cybertruck is without fault.
Oh, it is infallible.
Like anything Elon touches is
A turd.
meets the expectations, is totally in line with the promises,
I'll say again, a turd.
works to the utmost degree like a frickin' Swiss timepiece. That's how well these things work. So recall the Windows, right? Back however many years ago it was now.
The baseball.
Oh, they're, armor plate glass that can withstand bullets, blah, blah, blah. I'll show you by lobbing this baseball at it with my untrained, unprofessional slow ball. Shatter. oh, it was a fluke, it was this, that, and the other, this is still the prototype, blah, 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 blah. So then why now that we're in production with 3,000 of these or whatever the production rate is?
11,000 were recalled.
That's right. We did say it was 11,000. So, whew, good job. They're all in the parking lot somewhere. This is probably going to be another recall, maybe. I don't know. At any rate, some poor individual who spent $100,000 on this car, left it parked wherever, and the impenetrable, unsinkable Cybertruck, heard that one before,
It's like the Titanic.
with its shatterproof glass, the thief rolled up to it, pried back the window a little bit.
Because it's frameless. I want to point it out. The door is frameless.
So this would happen with any car with a frameless.
Yes, so we won't fault the frameless part. I'm not faulting the frameless part.
But the lack of notification.
Well, I don't even fault that because honestly, if you jimmy a little bit, I don't think anyone's cars are that sensitive that they're going to sound the alarm yet.
But the shattered window.
Did the window shatter? Because the window peeled back like an onion layer. And so people are up in arms about how, to your point, there was no alarm notification. I wasn't told my car was being robbed. The alarm didn't go off. I'm like, what alarm's going off? This thing like rolled up like a paper towel.
It didn't even know the window was open.
Where's the sensor? Airflow? Suddenly the air current changed into the vehicle, but the door wasn't open. That's the sensor? I don't know. Is it worth saying that the thief was in a Nissan Altima?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But the picture of this peeled down window is just wild. Wild.
It
Oh,
is
how is that
insane.
possible? You wouldn't be able to do that on any other.
No, and I think it has to do with the fact that it's safety glass. So it has that coating on it, so it's not
Right.
supposed to shatter and all that. But in thinking about previous Teslas that I've been in, remember I told you guys that story about when I was in Tampa and how that Tesla Model Y tried to choke me because the door seal ended up falling on my head as I was getting out and all this kind of thing. If the seals are that bad on a Cybertruck and with all those angles, you don't need a pry bar. You probably could put your fingers in there and pull the window back,
Probably what he did.
which is a lot harder to do on other cars, even on a frameless door car, which we've owned some over the years. It's pretty tight in there. And usually the window goes up into a cavity
Yes.
where it seals inside of that door seal, even though it doesn't have a frame. To say that the build quality is maybe not quite where it should be, and all those weird angles might add an extra layer of, I don't know, weakness or entry point or attack vector, we'll call it that. I don't know. But I guess this guy proved the hypothesis.
Tesla's recall fix is going to be going down to the local Home Depot and getting some rebar to build a frame for your frameless door.
Just caulk it shut.
Just get a couple tubes of caulk.
Your answer usually ever just get some caulk.
I was going to say caulk, but I decided to go with the rebar.
Yeah.
I'd like to spend $100,000 on a vehicle that I can peel the glass back on. What the? Ah.
But we've covered all that before. We actually have new news about the Cybertruck. And Tanya, this one literally blows my mind. This takes the cake. Would you like to inform our audience on what this latest development in Cybertruck nonsense is?
We covered that last time.
I'm talking about the shifter. Do you guys know where the shifter is?
Oh, I heard it's like in the visor or something.
Yes. Who designed this thing? Designed by a crazy person. Who puts transmission shifter buttons in the sun visor?
Oh, it's in the center. It's like where your rear view mirror would be.
But the thing is, it's like one of the most highly touched areas in the car, right? The sun visor, the rearview mirror, and the steering wheel.
No, this isn't. If you look at the picture, this isn't a highly touched area because this thing doesn't have a rearview mirror in it.
Oh.
Instead of a rearview mirror, you have this button panel. So it's really not a high touch area.
Why would you put it there?
I wouldn't put it there. I'm not defending its location there, but given what they've removed to place it there, it actually is not a high touch area, which just goes more to the shoddy craftsmanship if it falls out without you even needing to touch it.
What I'm talking about in the high touch area, you're constantly moving that visor, you're messing around with the visor, and then your transmission shifter falls out and stops working. I mean, who in their right mind thought this was a good idea? And by the way, the hazard lights are there too.
What about the rear quarter panel that just falls off?
Oh man, I saw that too. I'm like, what a
And it's
piece-
just like the interior frame is plastic.
It looks like when you take the door card off of an old Volkswagen and you see the internals of how the window works. I was like, where's the frame to the back of the truck?
I mean, so did this thing not have to go through an HTSA crash testing?
This is why it's Tesla Gate, if you pay enough, if you got enough Elon Musk, which bill is his face on now? Like the $1,000 bill? If you have enough Elon Musk dollars, you can pay this thing through the NTSA.
If this gets hit, it's going to get obliterated by even a small vehicle.
Would you go cross country in a Cybertruck?
No, you wouldn't make it. You'd get somewhere in the Midwest with a big rainstorm, and then you'd be stranded because the car got wet.
Or because your shifter fell off.
So you're done. And then you would have hit some place with some sand, and then it would have gotten stuck. And so you're done again.
What's funny about this is, especially the picture of the fender and everything that is now falling off, the gas pedal, the shifter, the fenders. I mean, God knows what else is going to fall off the Cybertruck. But it's literally the epitome of the expression, I'm going to drive it until it falls apart around me. But it's brand freaking new. There's always a Tesla story that sort of crosses the boundary between Teslagate and what we call low E here in the studio, or lowered expectations. And this one, I have to give a huge shout out to the special guest on the drive through a ways back. He's been a longtime fan of the show and supporter of Break Fix through Patreon. Mr. Mark Hewitt brought us this gem of Tesla news. You could see Tanya's face right now. Come on.
It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate state of society. This first article about a driver in a Cybertruck driving with VR or AR goggles on. First of all, I think it was a stunt. So there's that. The more concerning thing is, don't put this out there in the world for people to try to go do. That's the more concerning thing at the moment, because the Cybertruck doesn't have autopilot. So it's a stunt because there's no way that it's self-driving and he's just not paying attention. So boom on that. But second of all, don't put this out in the world so people are like, oh, I can go do this too. Or some asshat's going to go do it in their Tesla, which is another article. They'll accidentally mow over a woman and her dog, killing them, and then go, I didn't realize I ran anybody over, while they were checking emails on their phone in autopilot, allegedly. I mean, what a great excuse to like mow somebody down and be like, oh shit, oh crap, what do I do? Oh, you know what? I was on autopilot. Like, it's not still your fault, asshole, and you didn't notice? Like, supposedly there's some like street cam that's like, the woman was on your hood for a hot second, dying. Like, what the?
To Tanya's point, there are no cars in existence today that have autopilot. Go read the fine print. They all say the same shit. The car does not drive itself. Don't be fucking delusional.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you missed the point entirely, Tanya.
Nope, she got it. She good.
The whole thing with the VR goggles is just like when I sit down on my simulator, I don't need to use my monitors. I can plug my Oculus or MetaQuest into my sim and play the game through that. So when you plug your Oculus into the Cybertruck, you don't need a windshield. Remember, I said we're going to be driving eggs that levitate. So how do you know where you're going? You put on your VR, AR goggles, and it's just like being outside.
Elon Musk was a visionary. He saw the writing on the wall. You don't need a windscreen wiper because you're not going to use the windscreen.
You won't know that it's raining.
The laser goes across your MetaQuest. They use the same laser from that eye surgery.
They're giving you LASIK.
From the LASIK, yes. LASIK technology. Then your MetaQuest that goes across and cleans your windshield. The simulated rain in your simulated world.
Just like they added simulated rain to iRacing.
No. See, the Neuralink.
Oh,
You'll
God.
get the Neuralink put in you, and then that'll connect you intimately with the car.
Didn't they put the neural chip in somebody's head? Like Tesla did that?
I think so.
Cannot wait until they have complete cranial meltdown, because I feel like I have that when I'm reading these articles. So I can only imagine if that thing self-combusts inside your head. Good night.
They did put it in someone, and allegedly they can move a mouse, like computer mouse, with their mind.
I think I've got a new invention. It's called a hand, and you put the hand on the mouse and you can move it without even needing to use your mind.
But you use your mind to move your hand. You see, it's that telekinesis powers that we have.
I don't need wireless. Touch it. I can push the buttons.
You're not telepathic. You don't have telekinetic powers. What? The mouse must have a chip in it or something. Like, and you're microwaving like waves out of your brain to control it?
There is no spoon.
So all you do is tilt your head, and that's the mouse. It's like the old trackball mice.
No. Go back.
Look at like Night at the Roxbury.
Refresh.
There's already technology like that where your eye movements can be tracked. And so that you could move things on a computer screen in that way.
Right.
I think they've already designed that stuff for people with disabilities. I don't need to embed a chip in my brain and then all of a sudden have like, I'm going to get charged to go to the facilities in my own home or something.
Just imagine how many Camp Lejeune emails you can get straight to your brain.
You can get paywalls. I need to pay for my subscription to, I don't know, use my brain. I get like shut down because my Neuralink subscription expired. Like, what?
Yeah, because you didn't pay your bill. Dear Lord, please start the apocalypse. Start over.
Wrapping out some Tesla news. Our favorite internet idiot, Whistling Diesel.
I don't even know why we're giving this person any airtime. We say like, oh, how do these people get murmur? And then it's people like us that are like helping him. I don't want to help him. I'm not going to talk about this. You can talk about it. I'm going to stay silent.
All three of our Arbitron rated listeners. But yeah, I mean, this guy, I bring it up only because he's beaten cars to death and now he's got his hands on a Cybertruck. And so there's no video footage yet, just some pictures on Instagram with the hype and all this kind of thing. So I want to see what he does to it.
He's going to explode it because he's probably going to get it into some like benign accident and the thing is just going to like go into a million pieces.
And maybe that's the end of Whistling Diesel as we know it. It's possible.
Okay, what will be more interesting is we know how Elon takes the shit like this.
Oh, yeah.
What is the retribution here? Because he's not just going to, like, is he really just going to sit back?
I don't know.
But if this guy goes and like brutalizes his baby Cybertruck here, makes a mockery of it, basically, that's a lot different than somebody trying to give you an artistic tribute.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm kind of looking forward to this.
I am too. Yeah. For once, I hate his stuff in general. I think he absolutely just abuses cars for all the wrong reasons. And a lot of the cars are like, man, I would have driven that. That's a nice car. Abusing a Cybertruck. I want to see how this turns out.
In the one picture, there is a tank in the background.
Oh, dude, this is going to be great.
Bulletproof glass? How about missile-proof glass?
Excellent.
That's probably accurate.
That's going to be awesome. Now that my expectations are thoroughly lowered, we need to talk about things that are unfortunately unfortunate.
Look at that. The first unfortunate thing, we're right back with the Cybertruck.
I feel like this is like serendipitous, though.
No, this is the definition of irony.
Yeah.
The headline alone explains it. Okay, Yahoo News reports Tesla Cybertruck hits fire hydrant, catches on fire.
Well, they were already there with the water, so they're
Fire
good.
hydrant was on the scene,
Fire hydrant was on the scene.
Apparently, he caused the fire.
but also could not put out the fire. Do you know how much water a fire hydrant puts out?
But then is needed to put out the fire. Oh,
Still
look at
not
that.
enough. The picture of this thing alone just cracks me up.
How do you hit a fire hydrant? They're not in the middle of the road.
Supervised full self-driving.
It was FUSD.
Yeah.
Oh, unsupervised.
No, so this Cybertruck identified as a fire hose.
God. There were reports this month of other EVs burning to the ground, and the fires are just unbelievably tragic.
And everyone wants to say, gasoline, ice, thermal motors catch on fire more than...
Thermal means fire.
When was the last time, though, sir, that an ice engine that hit a fire hydrant caught on fire?
I believe the chances of that are 1 in a trillion.
Unlike the Fast and the Furious movies, generally, when internal combustion engine operated vehicles strike something, they don't normally go up in a blaze of glory.
Would have been amazing if that Cybertruck's dashboard lit up and it said danger to manifold.
I mean, I get, yes, maybe ice do catch on fire more regularly, but it seems like the difficulty and the severity of some of these electric vehicle fires. Imagine you're in some big collision and then you're out of it. You can't even get out of your car, or you can't get out of your car until somebody comes rescues you, and then the damn thing ignites.
Would it be fair to say that maybe knowing what we know, having the safety gear that we have available to us, that we should wear our Nomex suits every time we take a ride in a Tesla?
I was just about to say that. Yep. Exactly. So you can go down the Tesla Cybertruck rabbit hole with this one article. I don't know if you looked in the middle of the page, but it says man almost loses a finger to a Cybertruck.
Oh, the window tried to like.
No, this was the door because of where the door buttons are.
Oh,
Yeah.
So his finger got caught between the rear door and the front door. He almost lost a finger. And then the next one out of that is out of control Cybertruck crashes into a house. I think that's the one we talked about.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah.
I love it.
I saw one on the highway today, and I've never seen one in traffic and the Beltway, 6 lanes on each side type of deal. It is massive.
it looks like this lumbering.
And I couldn't figure out where the brake lights were. You know how we discovered that the headlights are in that gap between the front fascia and the bumper? I think the brake lights are in the same place on the back. But every time we would stop and go in traffic, I didn't see that back bar light up. I think that back bar across the lift gate only comes on at night.
Unless he wasn't using the brakes.
Maybe regenerative braking. That you don't have to brake in those cars.
But you still have to hit the brake pedal because we're coming to a full stop.
Not if it's full self-driving. It's fully aware.
Oh.
Identifies as a brake light.
Or the brake lights just don't work. I mean, amongst a million other things that don't work on those.
They could have shorted for all we
Yeah.
know.
Had brand new temp tags on it.
I will say I see Cybertrucks all the time. I see at least one a day.
They're creepy though. When they come up on you, you're suddenly like, whoa, what is that?
I hate the fact that they're so popular. I don't know why. They rub me the wrong way. It really upsets me.
Because you didn't get one and you are owed a t-shirt. That's why.
I didn't want one. Yeah, I ordered a Cybertruck and all I got was this stupid t-shirt. Parentheses, thank God.
Thank Elon. Get it right. Thank
Well,
Elon.
Elon is God. There you go.
Soon to be, he's going to be the first trillionaire. Did you hear that? It's insane.
Don't even get me started on how stupid people make money. He's not stupid. He's very smart, but he's also stupid.
He's also a horrible human being.
Yes, horrible human beings make a lot of money.
Well, Brad, you're out of luck, man. You're trying to sell this Cybertruck here in the United States for a bucket of chicken. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe if Americans won't buy your allotment, you could sell it to somebody overseas. Maybe somebody in Asia wants it. Maybe somebody in Europe wants it.
Maybe.
There's a whole list of reasons why the Cybertruck won't be going to Europe. Let's face it, Tanya's mentioned it before. The overall size of the vehicle, shipping it from California to Europe, there's a lot of obstacles in that.
But if we get lucky, it could get lost at sea on a shipping container ship. We would lose hundreds of them.
That only happens to Porsches and Lamborghinis. Getting it through the European version of like the DOT and getting it approved and, safety testing and all that kind of stuff is a lot more strict than it is over here in a lot of ways. Granted, they don't have to worry about the emission side because it's an EV, but do they have the charging network to support it? All those kinds of things.
Do we have the charging network to support
Well,
it?
I wasn't going to get into that. Also, there's an issue with the gross vehicle weight being between 8 and 9,000 pounds. So 4 and 4.5 tons. That's also a problem with Europe. It's just too big. It's just too heavy.
The issue that the Cybertruck is just gross, regardless of gross vehicle weight. It's just gross.
And that sort of leads into our final article about the Cybertruck.
Elon Musk, and I quote, "We dug our own grave with the Cybertruck."
Or I guess it was shortly after he announced, oh, it's coming in November, and then, oh, we dug our own grave on this. Basically like, yeah, this is a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway.
What kind of business sense is that, though? And I mean, we're past the point of no return, right? I guess there's enough people that want this.
It's still a year and a half from being cash positive, he said. Scaling the production is still a problem. So to your point, Brad, if you'd actually clicked yes to that order, it'll be a couple of years till you see it probably.
If you place that order, how much of a deposit do you have to put down?
When I did the estimator, it was $4,500.
Do you start paying on it right away? You haven't taken delivery of your Cybertruck.
You're not going to finalize the loan until there's a VIN number.
Are you sure? Because they can generate a soft VIN number and reserve it for you and say, this is going to be your chassis number.
But a bank is not going to fund that loan until there's an actual vehicle that they could repossess when you don't pay.
You're using logic, my friend. You're going to go through the Tesla Financing Corporation.
Oh, that's right. And they can repossess unicorns and glitter.
It's like software. I'm going to generate you a license key, but your trial hasn't started yet.
Oh, you mean how they generate stock value? They'll just generate it out of thin air.
So they're going to allot you your VIN. You're going to start paying on a truck that you're not going to receive for 2 years. I think this is a good deal.
That means I'm 2 years into my 7-year loan. And all of a sudden, when I get the truck, it's a 5-year loan.
And don't forget, it's an ARM loan, so it's adjustable rate.
So wait a minute. When I buy it at the $100,000 or whatever, does that mean haven't technically driven it off the lot? But when I actually take possession, does it mean it's worth $30,000?
Yeah, because you have 2 years of depreciation.
But not 2 years of wear and tear.
I would tell you this. If you were in a different state of life, I'd say send it, man. Let's make this happen. You got to get this Cybertruck. It's just got to happen, right? Just go for it. We got a little homework to do here. I don't think I've convinced you properly to buy this truck. I don't think I could convince anybody to buy this truck, honestly.
I don't think Elon Musk can convince anybody to buy this truck. What are you talking about? I don't see why they have volume and production issues when they aren't going to need to make that many, because not that many people are going to take delivery.
Demand is artificially high, just like generating those VIN numbers.
Yeah, everybody put in $100 on a whim because, like, oh, it's a fucking $100. Who cares? If the truck ends up, shit in the bed or they never make it or whatever, I lost $100. Who cares?
Is that how you've rationalized it for yourself? Have you just said, I've wasted $100 on a lot of other things and let it go? Or do you think you can get your money back? Do you think you can unload this Cybertruck allotment?
Getting the money back versus unloading the Cybertruck allotment are two different things, because when I first signed up for it, it was a refundable deposit. So I should be able to technically call up Tesla and say, hey, you know what? Never mind. Can I have my $100, please?
Wait. You said call up Tesla? You could talk to a human?
Yeah, I'm going to call him up on the cyberwebs. I'm going to use my neural net right to Elon, and he's going to cut me a check for $100 minus $100 processing fee. So he's going to mail me a check for like 15 cents.
If nothing else, they should be paying you interest on the $100. It should be like a bond.
I was going to say, it should be like, $100 plus 5% interest over 5 years. I'll take that.
Exactly. You loaned the Tesla Foundation $100. It was a charitable donation. You want your money back.
I aided in their stock valuation, in their inflated cash position and stock valuation.
Oh,
it was
man.
great.
Freaking mess there too.
And he took that money and bought X.
Oh, what
And
a
I don't
mess.
mean ecstasy, although he probably bought that too.
X, insert variable here, right? I wonder if we're going to look back in 20 years, 30 years, when we're all relaxing on our lazy boys and we're doing drive-through number 537. And we're going to look back and say, do you remember that Bernie Madoff level Ponzi scheme that was Tesla?
Which one? Which story? What specifically? Yeah. Is anybody surprised again?
Yeah.
Well, let's put a pin in this Tesla talk.
Let's put a bird shit in this Cybertruck talk.
We will come back to the Cybertruck.
No, please don't.
Oh, we will. We will.
Please don't.
It's still in the news. We hope you enjoyed another awesome episode of Break Fix Podcast, brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or get involved, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Grand Touring Motorsports. And if you'd like to learn more about the content of this episode, be sure to check out the follow-on article at gtmotorsports.org. We remain a commercial-free and no annual fees organization through our sponsors, but also through the generous support of our fans, families, and friends through Patreon. For as little as $2.50 a month, you can get access to more behind-the-scenes action, additional pit stop minisodes, and other VIP goodies, as well as keeping our team of creators fed on their strict diet of Fig Newtons, gummy bears, and Monster. So consider signing up for Patreon today at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. And remember, without you, none of this would be possible.